One large week ago, we made a video showcasing what I would have said at the time was the strangest behavior, mostly chatter based, in a key I have ever seen. We talked a lot about like what that might mean as like a red flag. This is like now a 3 video discussion. Whether or not if you saw this before a key, would you continue with them? I'm always shocked that the people are submitting me keys with this happening because if it was me, I would know immediately that these guys are going to cause problems. The last video of the Warlock, the guy was like just a total distraction. He basically did not contribute to the dungeon at all. That's obvious. Like from the get-go, you can just tell the dude's talking more than actually playing. That's never going to work in any type of key, but they still upgraded it. That's why it's such like a weird wiggle room. This one is honestly probably worse, but I think it's mostly because of the actual result of the key. But let's take a look at this one, another insanely unique one. All right, this time we are in Everbloom. It is going to be another one where it's just us reading the chat the whole time for you guys, so strap in. The guy starts off by saying, I'm going to be picky on the tank. This is a hunter, by the way. That's the group leader who said that. So he says, I'm going to be picky. The shaman, who is going to be the focus of this conversation, he said, go ahead, not go ahead, but go ahead. The hunter then says, sorry, not sorry. I really want to get this key, XD. The shaman says, I can only imagine, right? Like, I mean, this is a big key for everybody. This is going to be a really hard one. We need to be really selective. And here we go. Now, totally unprompted, like literally he just said, go ahead, get your tank that you want. Then immediately after that, totally unprompted, he goes, loved one close, blunt rolled up. If you can't see the actual chat, there is timestamps this time. It says 1:27 a.m. I've already showcased some keys. The one from Cop where he was doing it at like 4 a.m. Like the late keys are a wild ride, dude. You got to get in there and see it if you can. So he says blunt rolled up, mythic plus queued up. Then he says, I don't know how to solo queued. I'm not sure what he's trying to say there. Then for some reason, the hunter replies to that by saying, no, I'm just inviting random players, XD. I thought, what happened? I thought he wanted to get good. What happened? That was a quick change of philosophy. The guy says, that's the apex of mundane life, brothers and sisters. And now all in between. Man, I deeply desire to be you. Meanwhile, the hunter's still worried about his key because what is it with the low tanks, XD? The paladin then says, no, you don't, brother, referring to the guy who said, I deeply desire to be you. And then the shaman says, but I also rejoice in being considerable levels above you. He then says, I wish what you have was enough for me. Paladin says, it will never be. He then says, tight slot, big D. Strong strong smoke. He corrects himself. Strong smoke. Yes, I think he's probably right about that last comment. The paladin then says, bro, are you active? He said, there's more to life than just that stuff. So much, much more, he says. The shaman then says, I'm more active than you will probably ever know. Well, no, you can just tell him and then he will know. I don't. Paladin says, stay safe, brother. And then the shaman types LOL. And then he types LOOL. But then otherwise it's back to LOL. And it looks like he does that maybe probably 6-ish times, then asks for a summons. But if you could see the footage, you'll see he has already received a summon. Of course this guy needs a summon. Why would this guy not need a summon? Somebody who's sitting here typing like absolute drivel for the last 10 minutes of the key. He can't figure out how to get to Everbloom. He then says, let's ride on these fools, which I assume means like, let's take over this location. Now he switched to say, so he goes, hey. Then the Quel'Thalas tank goes, go, 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 go in all caps. And the shaman says, let's talk after this. The Guardian Druid is impatient. He wants to get moving. And now we see the key level. This is a 12. So the hunter who was belaboring over inviting a certain comp to a group, he's talking about a 12. The shaman is still typing. He says, I hope they can find their way. I don't know if he's referring to perhaps the voices in his head or maybe the flowers in Everbloom. Right now, the tank is the top DPS at 130k on 8 mobs. What a surprise. The shaman is the lowest of the DPS. He's doing 94k right now in a pack like this. We didn't bloodlust. No problem. Don't need that for a 12, surely. Here's a funny little interaction. If you watch the hunter's health, he is going to go from pretty much, half health. He gets swirled on and then just doesn't move out of it and gets killed from that. And we're going to use a battle res on that. That is 5 feet from the entrance. We just used our first battle res of the dungeon. No bloodlust yet, but we used a battle res. The shaman's DPS has actually gotten lower. It's now 55k as the pack extends. And then he goes ahead and says, you are all very lucky to be in a group with me. I guess, yeah, to be honest, is we got some great footage out of it. He then clarifies, so he says, not because I am me, but because of the teachers I have had. It's kind of reminiscent of the Warlock from last week who said, I'm being carried not because of my DPS, but because I'm stupid or something like that. The really weird part about this is, as I type this guy's name in, and it does not come up. There's only one character with this name, and it's a warlock. Certainly looks like this is his name, Prehistory, which is honestly a great name for a guy spouting all this weird shit. But based on some of his comments, it makes me think that like he thinks he's like way above this group. So I was really looking to see what the hell he was doing in a 12. But as we can see by the DPS chart, yeah, not much is the answer. But luckily, our submitter of this key actually hovers over like the Mythic Plus thing. I don't know exactly like how this works, but you can see their score on the screen. This is really funny to me because the hunter is not even 1.2k score doing a 12. This was the guy who was like, what's with all the low tanks? Okay, and then he invites a guy who's 1k. He's even lower. But yeah, the shaman is not like I thought the shaman was going to be something. It's weird though, because when you look at it, it says 0 item level. I don't know fully how that feature works, but I assume that those numbers are correct. So we're moving on with the dungeon. The shaman casts his last spell here. We're going to go up here. We're going to put like a warlock gate down. For no reason at all. I really have no idea what this is, but it looks cool, that's for sure. At this point, watch the mini map, okay? You can see some really weird stuff going on here. Look at the shaman just not only just stays back there, but he just starts like moving towards the left. I'm looking at his health bar on the raid frames, and he is not taking damage, but he just types ha, all caps. He's just back there. You can see on the mini map on the dot. I don't know what he's even doing right now. He's just totally AFK, and then he says, you don't even care. Now he's just straight up back, yeah, AFK back there, like unbelievable. I don't know if he's upset that people aren't thanking him for his ancestral knowledge that he is passing upon us. He says, you don't even care or know when an opportunity to save yourself presents it. I mean, I swear to God, like I thought the last key was going to be the weirdest thing I'd ever reviewed. I think this is actually weirder, right? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think this is actually weirder? Look what happened just now. He's got a root icon on his character. Guess what that means? We're stunned. Oh, yeah, there's the fella back there putting roots on everybody. And yeah, this is going to be a disaster. But, you know, it's only a 12. It's actually a tyrannical 12 too. So, you know, if you're going to survive this, you'd have a good opportunity to do so on a 12. But no, somehow this guardian druid does not survive it. And we are going to full wipe to it. Meanwhile, the shaman who just stayed back there AFK spouting nonsense then says silence. Yeah, because the mob that you pulled silenced him. And then he then says, I hope you all find your way. Doubtful. Now, the hunter who was worried about his key at one point says, oh, it's easy. But, you know, ads hate people. Ads hate people. Yes, I guess you're not necessarily wrong about that. The shaman then says, you are lost. And actually, like, I kind of agree with him. I don't know what the hunter's comment was in the first place, but yes. He then says, take care. I wish you all the best. Meanwhile, Quel'Tha the last druid, he does not give a fuck. We're just going to go 3-man this trash. He doesn't have time for the shaman. He said, I've got go. You remember he said that at the beginning? He's going. Prehistory, though, the record books no longer show. Trying to come up with some clever pun there. I couldn't do it. So he goes offline. But then it looks like everybody's DCing here, which is really strange. So like, did the guy DC? Did he actually leave? This is another layer to the mystery of this absurd key. But we come back and yeah, it's not, you know, it has not everybody's DC'd, I guess. But now there's just one less player in the group. So yeah, that's going to be a weird ending to a weird key, man. That may legitimately be the strangest key I've ever seen. Like I said that on the last one. The last guy, I don't know what was wrong with him. This guy, I think I have a better idea of what's wrong with him, but it's like, wow, he had been typing this leading up to the key, then asked for a summon. Like, I mean, how many more red flags do you need? Meanwhile, this 1k hunter is like, we need better tanks. This is gonna be that just cracks me up, man. So yeah, if you guys are out there running low keys especially and running into ancient wisdom imparters, shaman from a different era, somebody from prehistory, please record the key and send it in to me. We will have a laugh. We could also learn, and the learning from this key is stop inviting people who are spouting nonsense. Stop doing keys with them. What did you expect? Like, honestly, I can't even really sympathize because the hunter is big part of the weird. Like, if I saw him typing that, I'd probably be in a red flag state as well. But yeah, like this dude basically just bricks his key by inviting this guy, right? Like straight up. Like, I mean, the guy doesn't even leave for any actual dungeon related issue. I don't even know what to say about that. So, but do you think it's worse? Like, which do you think is worse? In the previous one, which I'm gonna have linked down below for you guys if you didn't see it, the guy types for like 1,000,000 minutes, like just the whole time. But the guy was nice enough to not like ruin the key over it. I mean, even though he really did try his best to ruin the key, he doesn't leave. It's almost like you could probably probably see these guys formatting this pretty easily if the Paladin healer didn't leave. I think they probably leave maybe because of the lag situation. I don't know what actually happens there, but obviously this one is a disband, and frankly, like, it's one thing when the guy's saying weird stuff, it's kind of funny, kind of charming, but then the fact that he basically leaves the key over it, like, come on, bro, like, you got something seriously wrong with you. Do not be bringing this into keys. Which do you think is a worse example of what's going on in this? Which do you think has like the more red flags that, man, I can't believe you didn't spot beforehand kind of thing? Let me know what you guys think about that. Anyway, thank you for watching. It has been a wild season so far. We still have some amazing videos to make this season, but please do think of me if you're out there running low keys. Hit that record button. You can send them to me either through the email or Discord DM or whatever's easiest for you guys. But otherwise, thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.